confident. How does he do it? Hey, you know what a tip? You know what a tip that Jensen told me? Stick with the black keys. You're never wrong. Ruth Connell on the drum. Drum solo. Drum solo. Drum solo. Oh, wow.
Thank you for not making me look so shitty. Thank you, everybody. Oh, Rock has to play, though. That's not fair.
No, but Jensen one time came up here and like it did like the most impeccable solo that only Jensen could do.
I thought it was because you were in like a minor key or something.
It must have been, but for some, it's Jensen, so it's perfect. It was all jazzy, and he was like, "Black keys." Hi guys.
He imitated me?
And he was imitating. Well, Jensen and you have that similar. When they pass each other in the hallway, and this is not even a joke, he goes, and Jensen goes,
Well, what we it's
yeah, but it started as, what are we doing?
Yeah, that's now just send it into the caveman version of what are we doing?
Yeah.
What are we doing? What are we doing? So I sing down the hallway, I'm like, bah! And he goes, bah! And that's it. That's how we know it's really us.
Yeah.
Somewhere elk, look up. Like,
Elk.
sounds like a mating call.
Speaking of mating call, Ruth Connell, everybody.
Exactly right.
I'm just to the side going, hello.
Yeah, that's.
Well, our imitation of Ruth has always been, ooh, ah, yee, ooh. It almost sounds like you, but not really like you. It sounds like you if you're walking across hot coals.
Or sitting on a pincushion.
Yeah. Ooh, ooh, ah, yee, ooh. Ooh, poor you.
Who are you?
It's the free poor.
Free pour.
Free poor.
Poor you with your free pour.
And free pour is not even a phrase we use in America.
Is it in England though?
Yeah.
I mean, in the UK?
You guys know that story of Rob and the free pour? It's a great story. It's about Rob making an ass of himself while loaded. Rob, tell the story.
I don't know if that's the category it's under, although that is a category. We went to Maine, family vacation, all my friends and their families, and the first night is always we go hard because we haven't seen each other in a while. My friends from Northwestern University, just up the road, and thank you to you, one person, and we all get together and we drink quite a bit. There might have been a little bit of the wacky tobacco out too, and we're just having a grand old time. And Ruth called it a night at an early hour.
So Ruth was not, were you lit up like a Christmas tree or were you responsible?
No, I was like mildly inebriated, like most
normal people. But we poured the tequila and poured the, we don't use shot glasses.
7 different kinds of weed.
Not true. But
7 different kinds of weed?
Hey, let's not get into the specifics of the weed.
Wow.
So anyway, we're not using shot glasses. We're just making ourselves drinks all night.
And then how do you display the herb?
She's talking about, we got on the porch and someone's like, hey, I've got a joint. Someone was like, oh, I brought a drink. Someone said, hey, I got a gummy. So a couple people had weed. I didn't take all the weed.
7 different types of?
Some people have been traveling to countries far and wide and brought back special brands.
Right. That's true. My one friend who's from India brought something back from India, whatever. Nevertheless, we partied, we went to bed, like 2 in the morning. I wake up at like 4 in the morning and my chest really hurts. Now this is the doctor says, separate thing from drinking and smoking.
You didn't know that at the time though, right?
No, we didn't quite know. Well,
Such a weird coincidence.
I thought...
So weird that would happen. The exact time that you have 7 different kinds of weed.
I don't speak fluent Scottish, but I hear judgment.
I hear judgment. I've got the floor. Anyway, and I thought I was having a heart attack. Long story short, Ruth takes me to the hospital.
Because that's how I like to spend my vacations. Right. And then unfortunately, I had the doctor do all these tests. He says, your heart is totally fine. But it was determined that I had this thing called pericarditis, which is kind of like you have like inflammation around your heart, and it's like a virus. You can't take anything for it. You just have to wait it out. I literally prescribed strong ibuprofen for me. That's all you can do and then it ultimately goes away. Anyway, she goes, oh, doctor. That's not what happened.
Oh, doctor, no.
No.
The doctor said,
Turn
so...
down my headphones and just touch.
The doctor said, so are you here on vacation? And Rob says, yes, I'm here with some college friends. And so the doctor catches on quite quickly. Oh, so there's been some socializing, has there? And I was like, yeah, a couple of drinks.
You're making things
A
up.
couple of drinks. And I'm watching the doctor go, okay, a couple of drinks. And at that point, I then go,
It was the free pool! The free pool! Because we were making drinks without shot glasses, so doctor was the free pool
every drink was 5 drinks.
and it goes, and the weeds. Doctor, it was the weeds.
So what you're saying is that Ruth rambunctiously injected some facts into what you were talking about.
And the doctor, a trained professional, goes, sounds like you're in trouble.
But didn't he also say, like, I don't know what a free pour is?
I don't know what free pour is, but it sounds like you're in trouble. And I said, yeah. He goes, well, anyway, this has nothing to do with that. That can't cause this, but...
He didn't say that. He didn't.
But, what is it? In my mind,
The chest
what is
thing,
it?
you have to say something about smoking, right? If you've smoked stuff, you have to mention it, right? It's common sense.
Yeah, you should tell the doctor the truth.
True, you should. It's the one person that you should tell the
Whatever
truth.
you do, don't tell the doctor the truth. Otherwise, he might heal me. So you got busted on the free pour. So now, is there in the new Benedict Connell home? Is it strict shot glass rule when you make a cocktail?
Pretty much.
No free pour.
No more free pour.
No more free pour.
All right.
It's also because, like, there's 2 fingers of whiskey, and
There's
like,
also two
fingers of whiskey.
Yeah.
So, like,
Well, cut
that's the
to-
Jensen Ackles pour that I've had.
Cut to, I visit Ruth at home, Miss Freeport, and her parents won't stop pouring me alcohol. I don't know how to say no, so they keep filling my glass. I'm pouring it in the sink and coming back and they refill it. We sit down to watch TV and they literally, there's a glass full of, I would have killed me if I would have drank this. Maybe that was their point, but
Yeah.
I had a full glass of whiskey and I was like, I can't.
There's a thing called just not drinking it, but that's...
Well, you know, I said that this, some friends from the UK are here, and they said, yeah, you just don't drink it. You just don't drink it, which is what you do. But I just raised in the Midwest. I was taught to finish your vegetables and drink your...
Finish your ride.
And finish your veg, right? It's polite. It's rude not to finish. It's funny. So.
And I just realized that you're telling the story. One more thing that Ruth and I have in common. We both rushed you to the hospital. This is one of the things when you take with Rob to
On occasion.
the laundry list of people who are taking Rob to the hospital.
Well, and I appreciate it. Everybody needs that person, right? I need two.
You need to take a village to get you to the
It
hospital.
actually does take a village. It's funny. I'm not loving where this is going.
We should answer a
So
question.
let's answer a question.
We're only taking questions about free pour.
Right, not my alcoholism.
All right over here. You start on it.
Hi. Love you all, by the way. You guys are just amazing. And because you're such amazing actors, I have kind of a layered question. So you obviously have all played characters that have been both allies and enemies to the Winchesters. And I'm curious about what insight you can give on the layers to kind of play both of those roles, and if you have a favorite between being more on the good side versus more on the evil side.
Rob, you answered this question first.
Which I liked better.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean, you know, well, for me, it's more of my relationship with all of you. Like on the show, it's super fun to play the bad guy, and I think these guys can, like, it's delicious. You get really fun lines, and it's fun also, like, to pretend that these 2 big, scrappy men who could kick my ass in real life, that I could be like, I've got more power than you, you know. So that was kind of fun. But it was really not fun coming to conventions and have people like boo and hiss me and tell me at my autograph table how mad they are at me.
Yeah, they would yell at Rob, they'd boo, and they'd hiss, and tell them how much he hates. They go, I hate you so much. And he goes, wow, you don't like my character in Supernatural? And they'd say, you're on Supernatural?
I knew that was coming. I was waiting that whole time. It's like having an abusive boyfriend. And just to watch him wind up, he's about to hit me, and there it is.
But you know, I made Ruth laugh, and really isn't that what it's all about?
That's the point. Anyway, yeah, for me,
I was laughing how much you were laughing at your own show.
And I also know that Rob saw that. He saw that coming over the horizon.
Yeah, so I'd say I enjoyed both parts of Chuck, but it took a minute for me to get over the the hatred at the convention. I'm kidding, it wasn't hatred, it was dislike. What about you two? Jerk faces.
I really enjoy being naughty because I'm so nice in real life. I enjoy I enjoy being naughty on camera. And
Can I put that on a shirt? Ruth enjoys being naughty on camera.
No, you may not.
But it was also really nice to lean into having a real connection, for example, with Sam, or, I really enjoyed that. And honestly, I wish I could have done more. And I think if we could do some more and I'm in hell and like actually maybe help them even more from hell, I think that would be really fun to explore, because I really enjoy both, actually. It's harder to do the nicer stuff, I think. It's easier to be just mean. It's easier. What do you think?
I would love to see more of that, so I don't...
Yeah, unfortunately that ship has sailed. But I mean, look, the great part about having the roles we had, certainly I can speak, I didn't do that many episodes, and to have it be that layered and diverse episode to episode where you had the opportunity to play varying facets of the relationship with the boys and varying facets of the character is really just a rare gift in guest star television. A show you're not on contract for. I mean, Ruth did a ton of episodes, and Rob did a pretty significant number. I did very few, really, in the grand scheme of 330 episodes, but still was given a myriad things to play. And it's really awesome that I get to do that. So I don't know if I can't tell you I like being dark or being light as much as I said I like the opportunity that I got to be both. That I got to vacillate between the two was really, really rare and cool. Thank you.
Did you earn enough in Supernatural to maybe get your trousers hemmed? Because they're fraying a little bit.
They are betrayed. No, I didn't, Ruth.
That's the look, Ruth.
Speaking of making fun of the free poor, brother can't get his pants in.
I'm looking at you.
Make fun of poor rich. Tough crowd, Rob.
Ooh.
Welcome to my house.
All right, young lady.
One joke once.
My turn?
If you feel like you have any similarities with your character, what would they be?
I'm the same size shoe. For sure. I'm the same size shoe.
And the Queen of Hell.
And the Queen of Hell.
I feel like I can sometimes, not quite as mean as the trickster, but I can have a bit of a sense of humor, a cranky sense of humor. I don't like candy, though. There's the irony. Not a big candy guy. And for years, I got candy as guests. People were like, "Hey, you played the trickster. Here's candy." And I'm like, "Man, I wish the trickster had been known for loving fine watches." Somebody like, "You're gonna bring it to me." I'm like, "Oh, I love this."
Yeah. Even like Biltong or something.
Yeah, exactly. Robert,
You are such the trickster, by the way.
thank you.
You are nicer than your character, maybe,
Yeah.
but not to me. When I had my stroke, the man who took me to the hospital to save my life, the Cardinals, my favorite team, got into the World Series, and there was the playoffs before. They're playing the Dodgers.
Right.
And unbeknownst to me, as I'm laying in bed, with wires coming out of me and stuff, he wrote "Go Dodgers" on the wall behind me. I was like, "Oh, big fan." I'm like,
And I knew he couldn't deny it.
exactly.
He was still healing.
That's the trickster. I am much like my early character, Chuck. A little bit. I really like sometimes being on my own, in my own place, do my own things, which is like writing on a computer with a bottle of whiskey. I just sort of like being on my own sometimes, and I think that's part of me that I really, that and the neuroses and nervousness and stuff. That's me.
Thank you for the question.
Thank you. Very sweet.
Hello.
Hi. I was wondering if it's kind of strange as like a famous person or famous actor that people will spend hundreds of dollars just to like even observe you.
Like animals in a cage, like you
You've made such an impact on people if they're willing to travel hundreds of miles just be like, wow, that person made such a big.
No one plays it weirder than my wife, who would pay to not observe me. Top dollar. You know, I'll answer first. It's a unique experience when you go, like, the first time I did a convention was in Chicago, a million years ago. And I remember I had said no many times to being offered it because I was like, why would I do a convention? I did 2 episodes, right? Like, the concept of conventions wasn't something I knew about, didn't understand. And finally, my agent was like, that's probably not a bad idea, you should go, do one. And I went and walked in the lobby. Back then, we stayed in the same hotel as the event. So I walked in the lobby to check in, and everybody was like, and seemed happy, you know, like it was a positive energy sort of as they watched me, and I was like, wow, this is really interesting. For us, for all of us, this was not our first job. Certainly, I don't think it was even my biggest job, but it was a job that was on a show that tapped into a fandom that wanted to support the show in real life, i.e. show up to conventions. It's very much lightning in a bottle. And I found that fascinating because for so much of my career, I was not new when I did the show. You did your show, you did your work, you left, and you never ran into the audience that was watching it. You never had that moment. And so to have these moments, to have the moments then, to have the moments now, where you get to interact with people who basically are responsible for your being here to start with, because they sort of build your popularity as your character and as a performer, but also they're sort of honor the work you've done because this universe is vocally supportive of this show so much. It's super unique and super cool. And I have many friends who've done bigger things and bigger roles and bigger things and are still envious that we have this, because this is rare.
It's the privilege of my life. I really mean that. I'm so appreciative of this, and I hope it keeps going. I hope we're doing reunion tours, and how wonderful to get together to celebrate something that's about chosen family, that has a lot of inclusivity in it. Bigger fandom has always been like that. How wonderful, what a safe space for so many people from all walks of life, from either side of the aisle, everything. You know, everyone from everywhere can come together and celebrate something they really enjoy. What a privilege. And at the same time, I go out in the street and most people have no idea who I am, but then there'll be that one supernatural fan in the airport in Japan or wherever you are, and they're like, Rowena! And it's always just such, honestly, still such a thrill and such a gift, and I really mean it's the privilege of my life. Thank you.
I don't know if I could say anything. What the two of them just said is so how I feel as well. I feel so lucky, and like Rich said, when we started, this wasn't available. You didn't have interaction with people watching your programs on TV, and I mean, I can't like this. The show was amazing to be a part of, and the show obviously changed all of our lives. But what changed our lives was this. You know, not the work on the show was extraordinary, and the crew we loved, but really getting to know the people from the show from doing the conventions. You know, I never worked with Richard. Then through the show, I found Richard because of the conventions, and then so I found my creative partner for the next 10 years. You know, and I didn't know Ruth, of course, and now she's my fiance, and I had my stroke all around the convention, and so I feel like I am tied into this. So it's so much more than, yes, that's mind-blowing that someone will pay money to look at me. That's weird, I can't even fathom. But the rest of it, it just, at this point, it feels like home. You know, it just feels like, it feels warm and it feels lovely to be here. So very thankful, very grateful.
Thank you for the question.
Thank you. It's my first time at a convention, so thank you so much.
Yeah, thank
You're welcome. Thank you for being here.
Hello. I have a two-part question. One part is for Rich. you played Gabriel, who was on earth as a trickster. How did he convince the other pagans that he was a pagan and not something else, because they knew of heaven, they knew of Lucifer?
Coupons to Costco. He was into bulk shopping. It saved a lot of money. There were a lot of people to feed in the pagan world and in the celestial world. And though they could sort of, summon food and just conjure it, they also sometimes, their meat suits have to function like real people. So he was able to get bulk bargain pricing for healthy food at Costco. What's your next question?
Paper towels?
All the paper products. Because a lot of people don't know this, but angels poop.
They poop?
They do.
Ibuprofen?
Oh yeah, because a lot of times angels, I don't want to upset Ruth, but angels are big on the free pour.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I know.
You need that
It's upsetting. And your next question, Ruth.
A question for all of you: if you had to choose if you go into hiding your character, what would they be if it wasn't a trickster for Gabriel or a prophet for Chuck?
Does it have to be like a human thing?
Doesn't matter, human or supernatural creature.
Can't just be like
Hiding.
Where would we go? How would we hide out?
Yeah.
pastry chef. I blend right into the bakery world. Pastry chef. You wouldn't know I was there. Just making bread. What's up? What's up, Rob? Come on, Rick. What are you doing? Making a baguette? Are we sure that's a pastry? Don't ask me questions, Rob. I'm making bread. I'm a pastry chef.
Wait, aren't you Gabriel?
No. Look at my chef's hat. Do I look like Gabriel?
Sticky for someone else.
Now, would you like a bear claw or not, sir?
Yes, please. And a small cappuccino. I would do community theater and put cakes of makeup on. Just lots of. I'd play an old man with the old crow makeup and a wig, and no one knows me the whole time.
Oh my gosh.
I was in character at a nice community theater.
What are you going to do for the after party? You still going to wear the makeup?
Always makeup.
Oh, weird.
Yeah.
You're going to get a reputation.
Oh yeah, that guy. Oh, the guy who was always in makeup. Yeah, he's a little weird.
But I'll always recognize you in the bakery. Well, there he is, old makeup face.
Right.
I'll say. As I get you your bear claw and your.
And little do you know, I'm your father.
I know.
I think I would go get some work as a night nurse or something.
Crossover.
Yeah, I see what you did there. That's good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hi, I'm Kelly. It's my first convention.
Awesome.
And I have a question for Ruth and for Rich. So, Ruth, I wanted to ask you, so there's a scene with you and Crowley, and he's asking you why you don't love him, which, by the way, I never, ever got that sense that you didn't love Crowley, ever. But you deliver this impassioned, about the vulnerability of motherhood. And it hits home for people that are mothers. That's how you feel. Like, you just, put your heart out on a sleeve. I'm wondering if you feel differently about, say, that line now that you are a mom, And then, Richard, I just wanted to know if Gabriel got time, because a lot of people got FaceTime with God, but Gabriel didn't. What would you say different to him than, say, what Lucifer did?
Well, I got to say before Ruth is going to have a great answer here, I don't know what Lucifer said to him.
He basically pouted and threw himself in the room. And
He was a baby.
he was a baby. You just told him to. I mean, just what's Gabriel's?
I probably would have also pouted. Seeking my father's affection was a fool's errand. And I would have voiced that snarkily, because, that's how I communicate, is with snark.
Smart. You're the smart.
And Ruth, you're...
At the time, and I know the film is not, it's not necessarily a great film to reference anymore, but honestly, at the time when I read the script, it was a little bit like my Scarlett O'Hara moment, I'll never be hungry again. It was a little bit like this. To me, it was kind of like that. All I can say now is that I am a mum, is that the level of intensity that I feel about everything is like a furnace. And I had to do an audition recently where I was pretending to be him. I was kidnapped or something, and I had no time to learn it, no time to do it, and I don't know, I was in this audition room and I just kind of was like, suddenly and I was like, oh wow, maybe this is how Meryl Streep feels all the time. She just has this like avalanche, this volcano inside her that is because you have all these hormones or everything just, it feels so much more important. So I would quite like to go back. I think it would be easier to do that scene now, probably. I know that I would do more or lean in more, but I think there would probably be more there. I think there would be more there.
Thank you so much. Hello.
Hi, my name is Megan, and in my family, it is officially Christmas season. So,
Okay.
my question is, can you name your favorite Christmas movie, song, and cookie?
Yeah. You get cookies at Christmas? Is that an American thing? Yeah. Okay. Chocolate.
I like the cookies with the little red mints on them. Sometimes they're a snowman and they're the eyes or something. Sometimes just on the, you know, the little red mints that you only see at Christmas? Cinnamons. Cinnamons. Sure, cinnamon mints. They're red like cinnamons.
Red Hots?
You know what I'm talking about? Yes. That's exactly what it is. And then my favorite movie is the Alistair Sim version of A Christmas Carol, which is like 1930s or something, and he's the best Scrooge ever. It doesn't get better than him, and every year I make Ruth watch it. Every year I watch it. That's my favorite movie, and my favorite song is Little Drummer Boy.
Is there a version that is your favorite of that?
Well, I love the version that Bing Crosby did.
Oh, with David Bowie. Yeah.
I'm still thinking.
Okay. Favorite cookie. This is a bit of a departure from the cookie thing, but it's my favorite thing of the holidays. Is peppermint bark, which I absolutely love, and it's only out in the holidays, you know. So I love peppermint bark, and then Elf, because my sons absolutely love Elf. So Elf is a holiday staple. And then favorite song is Jingle Bell Rock, the Chet Atkins version, the instrumental Chet Atkins Jingle Bell Rock from his 1969 Christmas album.
That's great.
And my dad listened to that obsessively.
Yeah.
Like that's like Christmas holidays, we had Chet Atkins on.
Yeah.
And so it's that particular version of Jingle Bell Rock.
Yeah, the reason that Christmas Carol, that version, it just happened to be on TV on Christmas Eve when I was like 12, and things were not great at home, and I was on the couch alone and not feeling great about life, and that came on, and it was just like, it was everything. It was everything. It was everything.
I'm trying to think of what my favorite is, I just kind of named the Elf, which is the boys' favorite movie, and I like Elf fine. I don't necessarily think about it as it's only associated with my kids to me. So I'm trying to think of what my favorite. I remember being a kid, and it's not in a movie, but we'd get real fired up, my sisters and I, when the
Rudolph?
stop motion Rudolph would come out. Because at that point, you're like, it's Christmas season, man. School's about to be out. This is about to be real.
Yeah.
Because when they start running Frosty the Snowman and, I'm Heat Miser and Snow Miser, you're not Santa Claus, what's the company that made those? Rankin Bass. Rankin Bass, those guys. Anything by them, to me, was it's a visceral signal that Christmas is here.
Yeah.
Oh, I feel more Christmassy now, just this conversation. I'm going to say my new favorite Christmas movie is Maverick. I got the DVD for my Christmas.
It has to be a movie about Christmas. It can't be a movie that you watch when it's Christmas.
She just loves Tom Cruise.
We watched on Christmas Day last year, and I'm going to watch it Christmas Day this year.
Yeah. I gave it to her 2 years ago, and she just watches it every
And my dad would love I'm Dreaming of a White Christmas, the old classic.
Man, that always breaks your heart when you think about the soldiers here in that. That's a World War II song,
Yeah, so I'm going to go with that.
And chocolate cookie.
Phoning in on the cookie. I think you're just making
I
it
don't
up.
know what you're talking
She
about.
just likes chocolate.
Well, what's your favorite cookie? Just any cookie. You just made up a Christmas movie.
Chocolate chip. Chocolate chip with big chunks of chocolate.
I didn't know cookies are not a thing in Britain for Christmas. We have mince pies.
You are.
See?
First of all, you're not an exchange student. You've heard of a cookie. Secondly, you just made a movie that has not a goddamn thing to do with Christmas in a Christmas movie.
What was the popcorn you used to try to order at American movie theaters?
Well, you know, in Britain, you go to the movie theatre and you get salt and sweet, and it's sugar popcorn and salt popcorn. They don't have butter, really. So it's really nice. You have a handful of salt and a handful of sugar, and, you know, isn't it?
You know,
thank you, there's two people in the
no, I know,
audience
it's
who
funny, yeah, but
understand.
it's funny to me. Again, she's been here for 15 years. She's an American citizen.
Yeah.
They're like, popcorn? Yeah, do you want anything on it? Butter or salt? She's like, ooh, I'd like sweet. I know what you're talking about, man. I want the sweet popcorn. You just get the pop. Is it butter, salt? That's all we got.
I live in hope! Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yes, sir.
Hi, my question is for Rob and Rich. I love your guys' banter, and I love your guys' podcast, whether it's Supernatural Then and Now or Kings of Con. You mentioned that you didn't actually know each other on the show and that you met in conventions. What was the defining moment of your guys' relationship where you wanted to do all these projects together?
Well, I will say that I always thought Rob was funny. I knew who Rob was years before we did conventions. But when we did conventions, it used to be you were randomly paired with people. You know, you would do like, this is not that random. It used to be, you didn't even know the actor. You'd like meet him backstage going, hi, and then you'd go on stage and do a panel together. It was very different than it is now. Didn't have a band, none of this stuff. So I remember being randomly paired with Rob one time. And it was immediately, I already knew he was a funny guy, but you don't always know that your sense of humors are going to meld. You know, you can be independently entertaining and somebody can be independently entertaining, but they're not necessarily, those energies don't coexist well. But it was such a funny panel, and I don't remember what city or where we were, but I remember us doing it and coming on stage and me going like, that was great. And
Was it wrong? Because my first
it might have been, it could have been.
My first feeling of like, oh, this guy and I, and it was one of those things where like, I knew who Rich was too, we just never really worked together or became friends or anything, and so it didn't surprise me, but when we were finally paired together, it just worked. But yeah, I remember that we were in Rome for the first time.
Walking around.
My first time, and walking around,
Yeah.
and we were joking with each other, it just came really easy. I mean, the joke, I remember to this day, there's this movie called Source Code that Jake Gyllenhaal was in. It took place in Chicago, and on a train, and he kept going, you see that movie with Jake Gyllenhaal, what's it called? I was like, Source Code. He was like, no, that's not it, but it's close, it's something Orse Ode, but it's not, it was like, I was like, Source Code, sorry. And it was like, we started, those characters now we play on stage, like just sort of naturally came out, really cracked him up, and I kept going, Source Code! You know, and
It turned out it was Source Code.
it was Source Code.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was really funny, and I don't know, yeah. And then people saw it on stage, and they kept pairing us.
Yeah, at that point, when it started going to stage, it became like, oh, this is great. And it started, so that was sort of it was a slow trickle from there. But it was realizing that very delicate balance of doing this live stage stuff, which can be tricky, especially when you're new to the show, new to the convention circuit. And it just worked so well that it became a natural fit. And we were also having a blast off. I mean, we would land in a city and be using a smartphone for what God intended it to be used for, finding the nearest golden tee.
You know, Golden Tee is a video game.
Or video golf game. We would find the nearest golden tee and immediately go there and like drink beer and play golden tee.
It's great. On Yelp, you can search Golden Tee and it will show you the bars that have Golden Tee. And that's what we would do, yeah.
That's about it. Thank you, though. Thanks for the question.
Thank you.
Thanks, man. Thanks for listening to the podcast.
Oh, yeah. Rob and I do have 2 podcasts, by the way. We got Rob and Rich, we got Kings of Conversation, where Rob and I talk about absolutely nothing. And then we have Supernatural Then and Now, where we talk about Supernatural then and now.
And you have great guests on that show.
We do have good guests.
Yeah, you should.
Cast, crew. It's a fascinating rewatch with 2 guys who really haven't watched it. And so learn with us.
We're watching it now in real time.
And it's all free, so check out those podcasts. All right, young lady.
Hi, I'm Lisa. I have to first tell you, good job on your Halloween costumes the first day, because my friend's phone thought you were the same person.
Yeah, take that, AI. We're like a-hole.
Also, when did you guys realize, and I I love you, Ruth. Sorry, it's more of the boys' questions. But when did you guys hear, I guess we're told you're playing dual roles? I think, Rob, yours is going to be a little different, but like, and what did you think when that happened? Or like, how did you go about acting if you kind of knew already?
I played a dual role too. It's okay if you guys can answer.
You're handling it well. You're playing a dual role in this panel. Somebody who's delightful, somebody who's got a bad attitude.
What was your dual role?
I played Michael.
What did you play?
Sorry.
Say it again.
She was Michael for an episode.
You're Michael?
Okay. Yeah.
Luckily, this won't bother her for the rest of the day.
No.
Just kidding.
Just kidding. I found out when I got the script. Like, I'm playing one thing, and then when they switch it up, I don't know that in advance. I know it basically when they're like, and now you're Gabriel. And you're like, oh, cool. I mean, it was always great news because it always meant more interesting things to play, being involved in the overreaching mythology of the story. It was always great. I mean, anytime they brought me back to the show was great news, regardless of what they wanted me to do. But they kept changing the capacity of the show, or what my role was, and that made it delightful.
A lot of people didn't love that answer.
Yeah, I don't love the answer. But the other thing is, oh crap, I lost him, Rob.
I just
made too much of a deal about playing Michael and everyone's leaving.
Same. I got this. I didn't know until the end of season 5 that I was God. I was just a prophet, and then I found out sort of as I was flying up to Vancouver to do the show, because it wasn't clear at the end of season 5. I just kind of wearing all white. All of a sudden, I disappear. One of the crew guys was like, "Hey, so you're God?" And I was like, "Am I?" And then Eric Kripke called me and was like, "Hey, you're God." I was like, "Oh my God." So, the challenge was always like, okay, how can I embody this new aspect but still keep it the same guy? And I got to do that sort of in 10 and 11, sort of explore that, and then I found out at the end of season 14 that I'm actually really bad guy God. And like Rich said, I was delighted that I could be relevant to the show as it ended. But it didn't know it'd be bringing down the show. But again, it's just you take in that new information, and then it's exciting, but you have to piece it into the puzzle. Okay, how can it still be Chuck and with this new angle?
Thank you, that was great.
Thank you so much. Over here.
Hi, my name is Rose, and first I want to say, Ruth, I think you're absolutely beautiful. I loved your part on the show. I was on the side whether you were good or bad. And Rob, I wanted to say that I am also living in Missouri, about an hour from Columbia.
All right.
And shame on you for not telling Ruth if she wants sweet popcorn to get kettle corn.
Okay. That's fair.
Shame. Hard shame.
Sweet corn.
And also,
Sweet corn.
when you announced that you were on The Boys and the part you played, you blew my mind. I was like,
That's not the only thing he blew.
I have to watch that episode over again to see if I can recognize you, because I was too busy going like that.
Yeah, definitely rewatch it.
That was a good Christmas movie.
That's a good Christmas movie.
And my question is for all of you, what do you like to do to unwind in your leisure time?
I have 3 boys, and I do everything I can do to spend as much time with them as I can. Because they're teenagers, and I know that my days are numbered, so we go to the beach a lot, take the boys to Dodger games. So I took Rob a picture of me at the gym, and he's like, "Why, God's name, are you at the gym?" I'm like, "Sounds like going to the gym." So like now, I'll just do whatever they do, so I get to hang with those guys.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the same. I have 2. I have a kid who's here in college, and I have a kid who's a senior in high school. And with the senior, I'm just like trying to spend as much time with her before she goes away. And now we have kind of baby, so there's a lot of time with the baby, and that's been amazing. It's been a blessing. And if there are no kids around, then I play the guitar and just like zone out.
Nice.
Yeah.
I can't remember what free time is. I really don't remember. I'm just trying to get through all the things I'm supposed to have done all the time. But I do watch some TV. I do like to watch television to unwind. I can't fall asleep sometimes, but I can fall asleep watching television.
She falls asleep watching TV.
Um,
And then tell you she's watching that show. I'm like, no, you're not. You're asleep.
I'm watching The Diplomat with Rob's friend Carrie. I love that just now, and I just watched Tell Me Lies. It's like this really intense teen show that I'm like, okay, this is my guilty pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hello.
Hi, I have a question about alcohol.
Robbie, you got this.
What is your favorite cocktail or drink, and also Ruth's favorite bar in Scotland?
Ooh, that's a good question.
There's a drink over COVID. Oh, can I go first? Or is that...
It's your time to shine.
Over COVID, Rich and I made drinking whiskey and beer a sport through the teens, the 20 teens. And COVID happened, and I was stuck in the house, and I decided to try tequila, and I invented a drink, maybe? I mean, it's kind of a drink already, but it's tequila soda with a wedge of lemon. Not lime, but lemon. And you get a lot of lemon juice in there, and it's just so yummy. And
Is that the one you call the emote?
Yeah.
But doesn't that have something to do with...
No, sometimes it's mezcal.
It's Emma Fitzpatrick related.
Emma Fitzpatrick was the one who first served me tequila with a lemon in it. And I was like, oh, what's this? She's like, always with a lemon, always with a lemon. So, yeah.
We called it the emo. I helped you name it. We named it the emo. E for Emma and moat because Rob's palatial estate has a moat. And that's where the drink name came from.
I very much live in the city. There's no moat, but he likes to say there's a moat.
Ruth, you want to...
I'm just going through all the bars in Scotland I love. There's so many. There's a whiskey bar in the Balmoral Hotel that I thoroughly recommend everyone go to. And a whiskey shop in Gleneagles Hotel that everyone should go to. If I'm going to have one cocktail, it's probably going to be a whiskey cocktail of some description, right?
You like an old-fashioned?
I like an old-fashioned, like a smoky old-fashioned. I like an old-fashioned with cherries. More than one cherry, come on. Come on.
What is this?
With 2 cherries, they call me.
Rich, what's your favorite cocktail?
Man, it's hard for me to say, but yeah, it's not hard for me to say. My favorite cocktail, why it's a ready-to-drink margarita beverage. It's called El Mar. The best darn ready-to-drink margarita on the market, Rob. Thanks for asking. All made down in Mexico, distilled there, produced there, and imported, so you're getting a real margarita every time. Over ice? You betcha. With salt? Why not? A little tahini in the rim? Spice it up, why don't you?
It's actually really good with tahini.
What do you say?
It's good with the tahini.
It's good with the tahini. Add some jalapeno, you can spice it up. Everybody in this stage has had some El Mar.
I had one on Halloween, it was delicious.
Yeah, Billy Moran's had it, and Michelle Moran swears we spiked her with the El Mar, and we did. It's got a kick, that El Mar. So if you're interested in trying El Mar, the best ready-to-drink margarita on the market, just go to enjoyelmar.com. That's enjoyelmar.com. For those of you who are wondering why I'm spewing all this and don't know, this is my wife's company. She launched a margarita brand called El Mar. So I'm promoting JC's margarita brand. Go
I can
try
hear
it.
JC going, yeah, Rob, with your stupid emote.
Oh yeah, no.
You could have said El Mar.
She's never, ever, ever, ever watched one frame of anything we've ever done on this stage, ever.
But if
she
she
probably
doesn't-
will stumble across that.
Yeah, exactly.
The one time she clicks on it,
Exactly.
it'll be that story.
Yeah.
El Mar, everybody. And I think this is the L end of our panel. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody.